Yo, welcome back, peoples, to episode 12 of the Elevated Audio Podcast. I'm your host, Raj Elevate. This is my co-host,
Khris Audio, man. How's it going, man?
my lovely assistant,
Lovely. Cybil, what's up?
Simple. I like that.
Cybil.
I like how you actually referred to her as your assistant this time and not your secretary or your janitor or your intern.
And I got lovely
Like
assistant, not just assistant, but lovely.
That's right. Yeah, you should update your resume with that.
I'm going to.
Lovely
for it.
assistant.
I had to make up for it, I kind of like balled everything all together in one, like secretary, assistant, personal advisor, marketing.
Friends.
There you go. Yeah, friends. That's kind of a big one.
Friends. Yo, it's crazy how like Friends was such a big thing when I was growing up, and it's still like a big thing, or it's becoming even bigger now. You see all these Friends shirts and Friends hats, and
Come
like,
on, show?
yeah, and people talking about it. You don't peep that?
No.
What is it?
I mean, I know it's obviously it was huge, like when we were, coming up and everything. But
Yeah, bro, it's still a big thing. Friends on
You mean
TV.
the show?
Yeah, with Ross and Chandler and Monica.
I never liked that show.
I was gonna say I have a hot take about that show. You watch it like one time and it's fine, whatever. Like I binged the whole thing because my ex had every DVD of it.
Mhm.
So we like binged it like over like a couple months or whatever. But that show did not age well. Like that style of like humor, like the way that it's written. You watch it now and you're just like,
It's
it's completely like it's like eye roll, like corny,
It bores me. It bores me.
A lot of things are like that now. A lot, like you look
Yeah,
back, and it's like
yeah,
the older movies, the acting is just like
Yeah.
so over dramatic,
Yeah.
and you're like,
yeah. And you know what? Let me say it just as like a disclaimer on my comment. Like it's hard for comedy, just in general. It's hard for comedy to age well anyway. Like there aren't a lot of comedies that like. There's a lot of movies that like are funny like in the 80s and 90s or whatever, and then like 20 years after the fact, you're like, it's not
That funny.
It wasn't as funny as I remember. Being like there's certain movies obviously that are exceptions.
well, at that point,
classic.
at that time, obviously you're gonna be like, yo, this is so funny and good.
Yeah.
Like now, as things evolve and everything, it's like comparing the PS5 graphics now to what Nintendo when we had it. It's like,
yeah, everything's always due to kind of an upgrade,
yeah. Anyway,
Friends, yeah, Friends is one of those things that like I don't know.
Well, I'm a Twilight Zone fan, so those are really funny to me.
Yeah, I mean, I was into it when
those
I
are
was
still pretty cool, honestly. Even the throwback ones are still pretty cool. That actually, I think that those aged pretty good. In my opinion.
Twilight. I never got into that.
Twilight Zone.
The Twilight movies are terrible right off front.
The Twilight Zone, the old Twilight Zone, black and white.
Black and white, like the sci-fi show.
I was thinking, why did I think about that whole werewolf thing?
No, because it's called Twilight.
Oh, that's why. So
yeah.
Okay, so you're talking about
that shit's whack as hell, man. That shit's so
you didn't
whack.
say Twilight Zone, because then
I did.
You
didn't say
Twilight Zone. You said Twilight. I didn't say the Zone.
You said Twilight Zone. I think your shit cut out.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay.
You're good.
I owe you a deep apology.
Man, we got derailed fast.
From my heart. You get derailed. Oh, you talking about
so fast with Friends and Twilight Zone. Man, you threw me off with the friend shit because all she said was like, "Oh, and I'm your friend." But
I didn't know what he was talking about. I'm like,
yeah, like Friends is like a big thing now. It's like, what?
Oh,
you're like, you see a lot of people walking around with Friends hats and Friends t-shirts. I'm like,
he's like,
what do you
yeah,
mean?
you're like, you remember like that was a thing like when we were coming up and like now it's like a big thing again. I'm like, well, yeah, people are friends. Like, yeah, like what are you talking about? Is that like a thing? Is that like something like we're not supposed to have friends anymore?
Nobody can be friends anymore.
Bro, that's so 80s, bro.
Nobody.
It's so 80s to you to be friends.
friends.
How many of us have them? Friends. Ones we can depend on. Okay. Sorry.
All right.
Sometimes I just go off into like song when I hear it because I hear it in my head. So I have to,
That's
Yeah,
fine.
no, let it out.
That's
Let
cool.
it
I
out.
was gonna just let you go. I was giving you the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, I sparked you, so I couldn't stop you. But all right, let's get into today's topic, which is our favorite rapper and singer combinations.
Collabs.
Can we also make fun of some while we're on the topic?
We can do whatever we want. So
Because earlier when we discussed that we were gonna do this, I was like, I thought of a couple that I was like, oh man, that sounds
you know,
so
poke fun at something.
stupid. There's one. It's in my now. Actually, it's ironic when you know which one it is. It's gonna be ironic that this one's stuck in my head now since I thought of it earlier. But yeah, we'll start with the positive.
All right, so I'll start with my favorite one of all time, and yeah. So my favorite one of all time is "Stan" with Eminem and Ditto. I think that's
Dido.
what is it?
Dido.
Yeah, her. That is one of my favorite all time. The stories and just formats and the hook is so catchy, and yeah, definitely not only one of my favorite singer rapper combinations all time, just that's just one of my favorite songs ever.
That's a good song. Period.
That is a good song.
It is the message, the theatrics, everything. I mean,
everything.
Definitely body
Very creative, and the video too.
Yeah,
they went in on the video, man. Dude with the dyed hair and
she was pregnant and it's crazy.
Had her in the trunk.
That's actually
Stanley.
Had her in the trunk,
right.
You know, he referenced one of his songs. He was like, "Slim, I just drank a bit of vodka. Dare me to try." That was just so. I was like, "Oh, that's so give me the chills."
That's one of those songs that the first time you hear it, you're just like, holy shit, what am I listening to? This is not what I was expecting at all. That kind of puts you on a ride, you know?
When you hear the name, it's okay. You don't really know Stan, what it's about. Originally
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying originally you would think it's just about some dude named Stan, you wouldn't think it's a letter from the fan to Eminem, and Eminem's writing back, and this whole plot.
Yeah. Well, now that's become a whole now that's a whole descriptive noun now. With you call someone if someone's just a big fan of a certain artist, oh, you're a LeBron, or athlete, you're a LeBron stan,
Right.
That song is so iconic that it's become a way to describe how people are obsessive about certain artists or athletes or whatever.
Right.
So I mean, that is iconic. No, that's a good one though.
You drinking a beer, Cybil?
No.
It looks like a Pepsi.
It's a Pepsi.
Okay. Well,
I'm not a real big beer drinker.
Yeah.
Corona. I had some Coronas last night, but
you don't want the Coronas.
You don't want Corona right now.
I don't want the Corona.
You don't want to drink Corona.
Real shit. That their sales went down a lot at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yes, they did. Isn't that crazy?
It's so stupid. It's so dumb. I can't believe how stupid people are, man. I don't just it's just negative association.
Right.
I know that's what it is. Obviously, I can't imagine there's people out there thinking oh, I have a higher chance of getting coronavirus if I drink this.
If I drink Corona.
Switch to Yingling now because
I like Yingling anyway. Yeah. You're in Pennsylvania, Cybil. How can you not like Yingling?
Ooh, I just don't.
Where you are.
You know what she likes?
Isn't that a dark? That's a darker beer, right? The Yingling.
It's kind of like an amber.
She likes natural ice, Natty's Ice. That's your favorite.
No, it's not.
That's Cybil's favorite shit.
Oh,
No,
you mean?
it's not.
I think the other word for I think the other name for that is urine.
Man, you actually made me like laugh. Like back in the day for me, it
Oh,
was like
that's tough, yeah.
Natty's Ice and cigarette and Newport 100s.
Of
That
course.
was mine.
I remember my old roommate used to always like have our fridge stocked with Natty Ice. He's like, man, it's the cheapest one.
Right, exactly.
Like, yeah, I know, but it tastes so bad. Like,
yeah, you get what you pay for. Like you
Right.
Like, bro, I'll give you the few extra bucks to just upgrade to at least like a Bud Light, at least.
Right, in the
Coors
little
Light.
cans or
Something
But
that's
yeah,
not urine.
You're not lying. That 90s Ice, especially when that shit gets warm, dude. That shit, it tastes
It's
like
undrinkable at that point.
undrinkable. No,
Ew.
but you end up drinking anyway when you're friggin' mixing it with hard stuff. You don't care. You're like, oh, I'm gonna drink that, dude.
Ugh.
Oh, it's urine, cool.
Yeah, crazy.
My neighbor drinks like something. It's called like Pennsylvania Ice or something like that. I don't know what it is. Pennsylvania. Ugh. It's not good either. It's not.
Not
So, Khris, what is your pick?
I feel like mine is like the first one that people tend to think of when they think of like singer, rapper, like collabs, like iconic ones. So, it's Method Man and Mary J. Blige.
Oh.
You're all I need to get by.
Yeah.
So I feel like
I
that's
like
kind
that
of
song.
it's kind of like the standard,
Yes.
song where like, the hook is it's like a love song, but it's like it's still street also
Yeah.
kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, their chemistry was just like
Yeah.
insane.
And it's not like Method Man like went like corny with it because it was like this crossover thing. Like, no, he was still dope,
Yeah,
And of course, Mary J. Blige did her thing on it,
of course.
But and honestly, like, and you know what? I'll say this: like, I am not like the biggest Mary J. Blige fan. Like, not just that or anything like that. I've just personally just never been a big fan. Like just for me, but like that hook is like, or that chorus is kind of iconic,
Mm-hmm.
Like in the way that we're talking about it. We're talking about this, like that's probably like the first like chorus that people think of when they're thinking of like collabs,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, the way that they just vibed on that track was just unmatchable. I feel like just that vibe alone gives it a top position as far as singer rapper combinations. Miss Cybil, who you got?
I always have a few, but I'm gonna pick one. I'm gonna pick "Heard 'Em Say" by Kanye and Adam Levine.
Oh, that's actually a really good
From
one.
the
I totally overlooked.
I'm guilty.
Very overlooked.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm guilty of not knowing that one.
What?
I just heard Adam Levine.
Oh, hold on a second.
Wait. I'm gonna send it to you.
I'm putting it on my phone right now.
You're gonna bring it up?
You've definitely heard the song before. There's no way.
Go ahead, Khris. Play.
Dude. I don't know.
It's from Late Registration. You haven't heard Late Registration?
That's my favorite Kanye album. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
the singer on the chorus is Adam Levine from Maroon 5.
Okay.
Which I remember when I first heard this album because I was all over College Dropout. So when this album came out, I was like,
College
I'm picking this album up. I'm gonna go home and I'm closing my eyes and I'm listening to this like beginning to end, like right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that song came on, and I remember looking at the track list and like, Adam Levine, Maroon 5, the dude from Maroon 5, like. What's Kanye doing with that dude? Because I wasn't really like listening to Maroon 5, to be honest with you.
This is an odd combination.
I was like, what the hell is this? And I was like, man, this rides, honestly.
Right.
Yeah, and I really think it fits the times right now. It's like not old to the times that we're going through right now.
Yes, definitely.
So yeah, that was my pick.
Cool. So my next one is Jay-Z and Alicia Keys' Empire State of Mind.
Oh, in
Okay.
New York. Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, a song is big when you like cringe at the thought of the song, not because it's bad, but just because you've heard it so many times.
Yes.
And that song was so
Oh,
big
you're talking
when it
about
came out.
the song I just said, New York State of
Yeah,
Mind?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah, of
song
course.
is so big.
It's an anthem to New York. And you
Of
know, New
course.
York is
Of
this.
course. No,
You know,
I
New York is
totally
the
understand.
city.
It's like totally understandably big, you know?
Right, right. Yeah.
But like, I
like,
heard it so many times that I'm like, I've heard it enough, like for my entire life. Don't get me wrong, it's a good song anyway. Like, I still good
if
song. But like, if I never hear the song
ever hear-
again, I've heard it enough times. You know what I'm saying? Like, that makes sense.
That's how I feel about Stan. I feel
bugging
that
out.
way about Stan.
Okay.
You
yeah.
ever
I
you-
do.
you start bugging out if you ever hear that song again. Like, I don't want to hear the song. But
Stop it.
just go to the first time you heard it. Let's just go to the first time, your first
No,
experience.
no, it's a good song, straight up. Like, to be, in all seriousness, it's a good song.
It is. And I can see that like living on as, until somebody comes out with another New York anthem. I can see that like being, that the anthem for a long time.
Right.
Years to come. So
Yeah, definitely. Am I up?
Yep,
Mhm.
it's your turn. Your
Mhm.
turn, Khris.
I feel like we brought up this song the other day because we were talking about Lauryn Hill.
Oh no. Go ahead. I
Are
probably have this
you gonna
written
say
down.
Nas and Lauryn Hill? If I Ruled the
Yes.
World?
Yes.
Well, that's
yeah.
Yes.
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 I guess
have it written down.
I felt like inclined to do it because
Yes.
Nas is my favorite MC ever. So
Oh man.
I had to make sure to to my obligatory mention of Nas. Which now that I said it like that, I think I am going to mention Nas in some kind of way on every episode until the end of time. So this is my first obligatory mention of Nas for this episode.
I won't be mad.
First.
And again, you know what? And I'm sure for Nas is my favorite rapper ever. So, so I'm sure some people feel the same way about that song that I feel about New York State of Mind. Because if I Rule the World, I remember when that song came out, bro, all day on every station.
Mhm.
Yes. God,
bro, and it still goes, bro. It
It does.
goes. People still bump it. Like,
Yep.
I hear them jamming to it.
Yeah, man. And lyrically,
Oh,
talk about conscious.
I mean, for real.
You know what I mean? You're up,
You got Cybil, because I already took your next one.
you took one of them. Yeah, I have to cross that out.
That one you just said.
That was the one she was gonna do.
Yeah.
Got him.
As soon as he said Nas and when we talked about, yeah, I knew.
You had to
Right
start. You had to go to your list. Like, she picked up the pencil as soon as you said Nas.
She crossed it out.
It's stuck. They erased it. Oh, you fucking Khris.
Damn it, Khris.
Rule my life.
Okay, I have Mac Miller and Ariana Grande, my favorite part.
What are you, 12? No, I was kidding.
Hey, man, show some respect, man.
No, that I actually listened to.
I'm hanging up.
It's not. No.
No.
Stop it.
I think his comment was more along the lines of Ariana Grande than it is about.
I think so, but it is a good song.
No, I've heard it, and you're right.
You heard it?
No, it is good.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is.
I love Mac Miller. I'm a huge Mac Miller fan. So.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Raj.
We're back to you.
Let's see what you better not have no 12-year-old songs because I'm gonna be watching you now.
You're waiting for me to slip now.
I'm waiting.
I'm waiting. At you. But you can't. There's nothing you can say about this song right here.
Probably not.
The Roots and Erykah Badu.
Ooh.
Baby, that is a dude. Like, the first time I heard it at work, dude, I literally, my 8-hour shift like revolved around that song. That's what happens when I find dopeness. Like, I just play it over and over. Like, my whole 8-hour shift was that song. Even on the drive home, like, I blasted in the car. Like, that's just one of those songs. And then I seen the video it took it to another level.
And you know what? That's a song that I have heard a million times that I do not find annoying at all. That song's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's really relatable too, you know. It's like it really is. On you, audio.
I mean, I'm not trying to like keep the same theme going with the Mary J. Blige shit, but this is a great classic song from a classic album from an all-timer. So, Can't Knock the Hustle, Jay-Z, Mary J. Blige from Reasonable Doubt. I mean, just yeah, man. I mean, it's a perfect like song to start off that album, and it's just that's another one that just kind of holds up. I mean, definition of classic.
Yeah.
A good one.
Yeah, the best songs from what I think is an all-time album. So.
Yeah. Reasonable Doubt definitely is a legendary album, legendary body of work.
All right, if you say something smart this time,
I will say nothing.
Watch your mouth.
My mouth. I'm zipping my mouth. Zipping my.
You don't have to. You don't have to. That really was a teeny bopper song, but I really like it because I like Mac Miller. And I thought because they were dating, it was cute. Okay.
I thought it was cute too.
Huh?
I'm just joking. I said I thought it was cute too.
It was so cute.
So cute.
It was cute. All right, I have Holy Grail, Jay-Z and Dustin Timberlake.
Which album? Oh, that's from is that from Blueprint 3? Or from excuse me, Magna Carta?
Isn't the album? That's a song.
That's a song.
That's a song from Magna. Isn't that from Magna Carta?
Yeah, that's the name of the album. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Isn't it called Magna Carta, Holy Grail?
Oh yes.
The name of the album, I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
I can't lie. Like I've listened to I'm looking at it right now. I kind of like there's like a period of time where I just like stopped listening to Jay-Z. Not because I don't like Jay-Z or anything like that, but just like there's like okay, I remember there was another rapper that I was reading like an interview or like listening to an interview or something. And he was like talking about Jay-Z and when Jay-Z did the Black album, right? And like on the Black album, there's a song called What More Can I Say?
What more?
And he's kind of putting it all out there of like it's kind of like a reflective type joint, right? But the song kind of says it like in the title. It's kind of in the title, like what more can I say? He's kind of told you up to that point in his career. When remember, Black Album was supposed to be his like last album. Mm-hmm. He had kind of already told you, like I've already told you every personal story that I'm willing to like divulge. I've told you everything that I feel about like X, Y, Z. Like this is my send off because I got nothing more to say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that was kind of the point of the song. So not to say that I stopped listening to Jay-Z after Black Album or anything like that, because I listened to Kingdom Come, I listened to American Gangster, I listened to Blueprint 3, you know. But there was like it was very spotty, you know, kind of after probably after American Gangster, it was kind of like inconsistent my listening to Jay-Z. So Magna Carta kind of like went over my head, especially since I think it was exclusively on Tidal when it first came out. I think that was the only place you could listen to it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not signing up for that shit.
Yeah.
not for one album. Like I'm not that. I don't want to hear it that bad.
Well, not for nothing. I think it's it's interesting that your favorite rapper is Nas.
Yeah.
And you stop listening to Jay-Z. I don't know if it's connected. Or
nah. Because I listen to like
Jay-Z's like nah.
It's one of my favorite albums ever. So
fuck Jay-Z.
Yeah, I mean, like I guess I'm able to separate like what I like versus like just like the general art, you know, like I don't like, for example, like I don't like. I'll make like a sports reference, you know, like I'm a Heat fan, I'm a Dolphins fan, obviously. I don't like the Jets, you know, I hate the Jets, I hate the Patriots, better
Hate
example.
'em.
I hate the Patriots,
Hate
but I
'em.
can look at Tom Brady and be like, that motherfucker's good as hell. That
You can't
guy's the
deny
GOAT.
it.
Like,
How can you can't deny
I
the
can't
fact that
say anything. Like the
Right.
motherfucker's played in a Super Bowl half of the years he's been in the league, and he's
Right.
won 7 of them. I can't say shit. Like,
And then
like
niggas 40.
even if I want to hate him, I admire it. I'm in awe of the dude. You know,
Yo, even if you're a hater, you've gotta still.
I'm
You gotta give him the credit.
You should respect the greatness, and I think that's something that people don't do with a lot of like artists. Like even people who don't like, I see this a lot with like Eminem, right? Where like I don't listen to Eminem's music that much, not because it's not good. A lot of it is so good, but it just doesn't hit for me personally, you know. But someone's like, someone says to you like, "Oh, he's whack," or he sucks or whatever, that person's just an idiot. Because
Idiot.
Eminem, from a talent and skill standpoint, is top 10. Period. Ever. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I don't say those kind of things as matter of fact. Eminem is top 10. Period. Not like, oh, but blah blah. No. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
As far as versatility and just an all around MC and looking
Absolutely.
at his career and his body of work, you can't deny that he's up there.
And by the way, and he's not even in my like top 20 of favorite MCs. He's not even in like my top 20 personal favorites.
Yeah, even if you don't connect with him, even if you don't connect with him, even if you don't connect with his music, you can't say that he's not one of the greatest of all time. You can't.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't get. Like certain, that's how people. I don't know. I guess it's just like social media bullshit. I guess we look at certain like athletes. So look at like LeBron James. Like you can't like realistically. No one that knows what they're talking about is going to look at like LeBron James and be like, that guy sucks at basketball.
Like,
right. that guy's not top 5 ever. It's like,
well, first off, whoever's saying that probably can't do even an ounce of the things anybody.
Well, that's a whole.
Yeah,
that's for sure. That's what I'm saying. You're right.
When people are commentating and talking shit about people, like in professional sports, I'm like, dude, you realize that you could never do even like an inkling of what that person's doing.
I mean, it's one thing to be like, I don't think he's as good as this guy. Okay, that's one thing. But to be like, oh, he's so overrated, he sucks, bro. You can't do anything that he does. And I heard somebody talking about this like on the radio once. Like forget LeBron James. Think about anybody who's like in the NBA or in the NFL. Every single one of those dudes is better at their job than you most likely will ever be at anything in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not like a slight. That's just these people at the top of 1% of the 1% of the 1% at their craft. You know what I mean? I can't say that about my job. I don't know if you could say that about your job, but most people are not like in the top 0.01% of what they do.
I agree that they're up there skill-wise. Should they be getting paid that much? That's up for debate.
I mean, that's a whole other conversation we could have. But I don't want to get derailed again. I mean, I have like kind of like different opinions on it. Like I can see it both ways, But
yeah. So is it on me? Is my
What was the last one you said?
I think it was Cybil went, right? Cybil,
I said can't knock the hustle.
Can't knock the hustle. Then did you say something after that, Cyb?
No. It's your turn.
You made a comment about me liking Nas.
Or is it my turn?
Yeah, because you said, I think it's your turn, Cyb. This is what ranting will get you.
What?
So this is what ranting will get you.
That's cool. I think that's the best part of this show.
It is. I love it.
I think the best part is us getting derailed.
It is.
The topic is just there to center us.
Balance, my friend. Balance.
Dr. Dre and Skylar Grey. I Need a Doctor.
I remember that song.
Word. Okay, so my next one is.
I was never like blown away by that song, but it was cool.
I like her voice. That's one of the main reasons I like it, because I like her voice so much.
Yeah.
But as for like storyline, there's not really anything there.
True.
Basically. But okay. It's your turn, Raj.
All right. So my next one is Ghetto Superstar.
Oh.
With Maya, Praz, and ODB. All right.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's like that hook itself. It's just could stick with you. You know, that hook could change your whole vibe. Like you're in a bad mood during the day, like that hook. You hear that hook. Yeah, those.
Yeah.
Like,
that makes me feel good.
Yeah, now your head's bobbing. You like. And I just love how, like, especially in the video, how they did it at the podium and like, you know what I'm saying, in like a political type setting was pretty ill. So, man,
I think wasn't that like on a soundtrack?
It was. Was it?
I think it was on a soundtrack for Bullworth.
For what?
I think it was a movie called Bullworth.
Oh, I never heard that movie.
Bullworth. It's like not.
Sounds like a bad movie. Audio.
It's not a good movie. It's basically like. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember.
Raj got jokes tonight. Lots of jokes.
The title is like, what? Why did you name it that?
Yeah, it's got, okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking of the right movie. It's got Warren Beatty and Halle Berry. But that movie, it's basically, let me see. Because I totally forgot what the movie's even about.
Never mind. You got Halle Berry in there. Changed my mind.
It's something about a politician who's like trying to, I don't know, there's like there's some kind of like a hip hop angle to the movie.
Can I confess something real quick? So when I said when I said the thing about the politics,
yeah,
and you just said, what'd you say, politician or something? You said
me?
You just said the word politician or something like government.
Yeah. Okay.
Like now, every time I hear like politician or government, I always think of Trump. Like this is so horrible.
Like, well, I mean, he's the most recent, like,
big my gosh,
thing, you know.
No, but it's not only that. Like my grandfather, like he's a Trump hater, so he knows how to use YouTube now. I taught him how to use YouTube, which I regret. Yeah. So all he looks up now is just Trump bashing videos. Like people go on YouTube and type in Trump stupid and like pull up.
Isn't it? I mean, that's probably entertaining, but isn't it more entertaining to just watch Trump?
Either way, he's gonna look like an ass. Whether somebody else is making him look like an ass, or he's making himself look like an ass, he's gonna come out looking like a donkey. But true. It's just so sad right now. Like my mind's programmed. That's where we're at. You know, think about Trump every time I hear.
Oh my gosh!
And he's not even the president anymore. I feel like people are talking about him more now that he's not the president.
Oh yeah.
Because the whole, the whole law thing. And,
I mean, these kind of things, they have a way of like gradually kind of going away. So
dude, it's going away like a really bad fart. Like, it takes a while to.
Yeah, just it permeated in the room, but it's still like you come back in the room, and you're like, it's still there.
Right? Yeah.
Or even like you use the bathroom. And you're like, I gotta leave the fan on. Close the door. Right, and you come back like 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later to like wash your hands or something like that. And you're like, Jesus.
It's still a remnant. It's like, dude, like you're still.
It lingers.
Thinking of the rule. Now they're still talking about this wall. I'm tired of hearing about this
wall. Oh man, the wall.
Like I just want to punch everything that has to do with Trump when I see it, and it's like.
I want to punch anything that has to do with Trump or politics or anything. That's why I can't even turn on the TV anymore. I just like, you know what? Let me just focus on my music. Let me just focus on this shit, and I'll be much happier.
Right.
I can't watch a lot of the news. I'll watch a little bit just to see locally what's going on in my area, but I can't.
The news
because all I talk COVID. I'm like, oh my God.
The news is set up and designed to spread fear and put you in a low vibrational state. And so when you're out in the world, you're in a fearful state and you're unconnected and you're just a mess. That's what it's there for. They might put like one good clip of like, something good or whatever. These kids raise money for this person. You know what I mean? That's like a 2 second.
Right. That's all it is.
They cover it for 2 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, then next is like,
Yes.
okay, COVID numbers today.
Moving on. 3 trains collided today.
Right.
4,000 people died. Oh, great thing. Thanks
all
for
of
spoiling
them-
my day again. I'm sad.
Half of them had COVID. Like, what the fuck? Some way everything's connected to COVID now.
Yeah, like a train crashed. They're connecting it to COVID.
Like now there's no flu anymore. I haven't heard anything about the flu. I haven't heard anything about like anybody dying from anything else except COVID. Like what happened to everything else?
That's a good
Everything
point.
else
No,
is
it's a good
gone.
point. Look, there's someone I know, and I'm not gonna say their name or anything like that, because I don't know if they're gonna listen to this or not. But there's someone I know who like they had like their parents or somebody close to them got sick, right? And they went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, they're like, should we get swabbed for COVID?
Mm.
And he's like, well, no, like I already know you have it, like you're sick,
What the fuck?
right? Which, by the way, that's just malpractice in my opinion. But
That
Oh my gosh.
so when I heard that, I'm like, that's so stupid. I'm not a doctor. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of my dad's a doctor. I have a lot of respect for doctors.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I know. I work. And I work in the medical field.
Right.
But like, I have a lot of respect for doctors. But I don't know what that conversation specifically was. But that's the way it got back to me. I was like, that is really irresponsible.
It is.
Here's the best part. By our urging, that we got them to still go and get tested.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have COVID.
Didn't have it. Wow. So you just diagnosed these people just because maybe they showed a little bit of symptoms, and you automatically diagnose.
It's so dumb because I think there's like this misconception of like you said, it's like just because COVID's here, like every other virus and every other thing just stopped, and that's the only thing that people get now.
It is.
It's like that's not how it works. People still get strep. People still get the flu. People still get whatever, Like people still get UTIs, whatever, Like everything else didn't just take a break,
Yeah, it's so exaggerated, man. It's just like everything's about that now.
It's just a distraction, I believe. It's a distraction, just like that trial is a distraction.
No, don't get me wrong.
Something bigger.
There is a real virus out there.
Yes, there is.
Killing people.
I've had friends that have had I have a friend that her dad just passed away from it. Like, it's heartbreaking.
It's very real, But
it's very
like
real.
they're just focusing on that and forgetting everything else. There's no focus on anything else happening.
Yeah,
like,
because
we're not forget that, like cardiovascular disease kills more people in the world than any other condition in the world.
Yes.
People are still dying from complications of like diabetes. People still have AIDS. People still have cancer. All these other things. Like, it's not that they matter less just because this is the virus du jour, Look, this is another one that we need to be mindful of,
On your point about like cardiovascular disease and diabetes, they're not saying anything. There's no push or promotion or statements about like that.
Exactly. And by the way, the people who are dying from COVID, most of them, but a good portion are people who have diabetes, have cardiovascular disease. These are things that are making the COVID worse. So if we take the steps to like maybe people can prevent their diabetes or get it under control, or maybe prevent cardiovascular disease, then maybe if you do get COVID, you can handle it better.
Right. And then nobody's talking about like, America is the fattest, sickest country in the world. Look at what we're eating. Look at all these
terrible, man.
Places. Look at all this. Like
they obesity.
They're not even talking about eat more fruits and vegetables, take care of yourself, exercise. Like where's all that at? Everything's just today the numbers are this. COVID, these people died. This amount of people. That's all it is. The focus is all on that. These hospitals are, and I my heart goes out to the hospitals that are understaffed, that are overwhelmed, that have lack of equipment, that lack of bed, ventilators, all that. Like my heart goes out to them, but everything can't be COVID, man. Everything can't be COVID.
I think it's something that I feel like people do treat everything when it comes to these issues. Like I feel like people are so simple that everything has to be either or, and this is like and. It's an and, it's not either or. It's like, okay, focus on like HIV or focus on COVID. It's like, no, these are two different viruses that people are dealing with. So,
right.
we need to focus on this, and this, you know?
Right.
It drives me crazy, like, to see how, like you're talking about, and this, the original point was how media kind of just picks and chooses what's going to be, and the whole reason is because that's what's going to get people to like tune in, you know? Like,
right, of course.
It is so 80s. It's like, well, no, it's still killing a lot of fucking people, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's all about views. It's all about attention. And people don't understand your attention is the most powerful thing in the world. Whatever you pay attention to grows. Your energy flows where your attention goes. And people just give their attention freely to this stuff. And what does it do? It grows and it grows and it grows. That's why the media is a superpower. Because everybody is just... What if everybody just like stop? I'm not saying don't know what's going on in the world. I'm not saying don't know current events. But what I'm saying is have a limit to how much media you consume.
Yeah.
You know, like my grandfather, this dude all day. That's all day. Like, man.
Oh no, you created a monster, Raj.
I did. It's like, because now with YouTube, like you can pick and choose. So
right.
I showed him how to pick and choose. You know, he's used to the cable. He's used to the cable where, you know, you go to the news station, there's commercials.
Right.
I mean, it's commercial on YouTube, but like now you can like, if you're halfway through a video and you don't like it, you could stop it and pull up another YouTube.
Right.
You know? So this guy's just going buck wild. So I'm glad I got my own space. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it reminds me of that commercial. There's a commercial about a younger girl, and she's sitting with her grandfather, and she said she's teaching him how to use his phone, and she goes, "Oh, I just taught him how to send emojis. Let me teach you how to send an emoji." And the grandmother's like, "Oh no, please don't." It's just so cute, and that's what it reminded me of. So anyways, whose turn is it?
I don't know, but it was kind of weird the first time my dad ever sent LOL in a text.
I didn't even know what this means.
I got that. Like, I sent him something like a funny picture or a meme or something, and he sent back LOL, and I was like,
it's so weird, right?
Huh. I'm picturing like my 60-year-old dad laugh out loud.
My neighbor, I had to kind of teach her. She's not used to the regular. She had one of those little, like, it was almost like a BlackBerry type phone. It's real small, and she loved it, but she had to get rid of it. They made her upgrade to an Android phone because they don't have those. You don't sell those anymore. So I teach her how to do stuff. Oh man, she's a Facebook this, Facebook that, Facebook this, Facebook that. I'm like, oh Lord, what did I do?
Created a monster.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anybody got any other selections? Anything?
I have like the song that was stuck in my head all day that I can't stand. I hated it the first time I heard it. Hold on,
well, you need to listen to it to get it out of your head. That's what you have to do.
I will not do that. I will not do that.
No, seriously.
I will not do that.
But I'm not going to do
seriously.
that.
Well, I could pull one more up as well. How about we each just give one more? How about that? We each just give one.
I want to say the one that was annoying me. I had to confirm who the singer was on it. Nelly and Tim Mcgraw. You remember that shit? I hated that song the first time I heard it.
How's it go? I bet I remember
the song. It's all in my head. I think about it over and over. I hated that song the first time I heard it, and I've always found it so damn annoying. I hate that song.
In my head,
in case you misheard me, I hated that song, and I still hate it.
In case you misheard me.
Now it'll be in my head. Thanks.
Have a wonderful evening.
Go ahead, Cybil, with your...
You go ahead and listen to it to get it out of your head.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard you're supposed to do, and it actually works for me. It really does. Because sometimes I wake up with something real dumb in my head, and I'm like, where's this coming from? Does everybody wake up with a song in their head, or is it just certain people?
It happens to me a lot.
Happens to me a lot.
Because the baby, lately it's been a lot of Disney songs. Unfortunately. You got a friend in me like in my head all the time because we watch Toy Story all the time.
Okay, I have let's see. Where did I put it? I can't remember it now. Oh, Eminem and Rihanna. I love the way you lie.
Oh, I love the way you lie.
That was a banger.
Yeah, I like it, but it's something that I wouldn't have on repeat. You know, like I wouldn't put it on my playlist, but it's a dope song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have it on my playlist, but it is a good song.
Don't lie, Cybil. You know you have it as your morning wake up ringtone.
Right.
That would be a very odd song to have as like your everyday.
Right. Love the way you lie.
You know, one of my ringtones was
God.
I'll Be Missing You.
That's another collab.
Yo,
that is another collab, actually. Yeah, you're right.
A good one, audio.
That was your last song.
I wasn't even suggesting that one as a collab, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you like slid right perfectly seamlessly in there. One of my ringtones was Quiet Storm with Mobb Deep.
Mobb Deep, that's a good song.
Yeah.
I don't know that song.
This is just as egregious as actually, this is more egregious than not knowing Heard Him Say.
I gotta say, we gotta look that up. Mobb Deep.
Oh, I'm doing it right now.
Oh, learn her something.
All right. You needed to learn today too. You learned today too.
We all need to learn.
We do. I've heard that song. I've heard that beat.
I'm sure you have.
Wow.
That was one of the biggest songs of our era.
Jesus.
Your era. My era is different than your era.
You ain't that old. How old are you?
You already know how old I am. You don't?
He's trying to get you to say it on the road.
I know.
What an asshole.
I know the things he plans in his head. I know.
Dr. Evil. All right. $1 million. R.I.P. Fat Bastard. So my one is, I'm gonna go really underground and like really underground. This is Evidence and Aloe Black. They have a song called The Linear Notes.
Oh, I'm writing that down. I like Aloe Black.
Check that out. It's dope. Yeah,
Evidence. Love Evidence.
Yeah. If you're
Evidence, did you say?
Evidence, yeah, like Evidence in
Precinct. Yeah, the dude from Dilated Peoples.
Yeah. If you're an underground hip hop head, you know who he is.
I've been wanting to book him for the fest.
Yo,
so bad, but he's
probably expensive though. Yeah,
it's expensive, man. I don't remember how much it was, but I remember when I sent that email, I got it back, and I was like, not this year. Like, maybe next year.
You know, there's a lot of artists that happens with audio.
The thing is, it happens. Soon. So I'll just say this because it was so for the first, I'll just tell you the story because whatever. There's I don't think this is gonna end up. This is not gonna end up happening ever, unfortunately. But you remember for the first fest, I booked rapper Big Pooh from Little Brother. Little Brother's my favorite group ever. That's my favorite group ever. Yeah. So they got back together in 2019, right? And they released an album. So I reached back out to Big Pooh about, hey, I don't know if you guys are already planning a tour, but, I'd like to bring you guys to, Orlando or Miami, somewhere down here.
Yeah.
He's like, so he texted me back and he basically sent me their agent's contact information,
Mm-hmm.
When I sent that email, you send an email, like something like that, when you inquire about stuff like that, you kind of have like a number that you kind of think they're going to hit you back with, right?
Of course.
So then it's like when you get the number back and it is like so far off from what you were like concocting in your head.
It's like a dagger.
Bro, it's like a dagger. It was staggering, the number. I was like,
damn,
I can't even negotiate that number down. I can't even like, because every artist, they're gonna say like, you just send it and you ask, they're gonna say like $4,000, whatever. I'm just throwing a number out there. But like, let's say your budget's 3,000. Maybe you can kind of work you can kind of find. It's a negotiation. There's always room for negotiation.
Yeah,
like, hey, look, yeah, if you want to, it's $4,000 plus, or it's $3,000 plus 3 flights and whatever. Like, okay, how about this? $3,600, but I don't want to handle your flights. I'll just throw you the extra cash. I don't want to handle your hotels or your flights or anything like that. Just I'll throw you the extra. No, we don't have to deal with that. Just stuff like that. You kind of play with the numbers. With them, I was like, maybe 8, 10K, maybe. Bro, the number they hit me back with, I was like, this is never gonna happen. This is like my dream. This is like my dream booking, and it'll never happen.
Sounds like somebody's salary.
No, honestly, what they hit me back with was like an annual salary.
Wow.
And honestly, look, whatever, they deserved it because it was a reunion tour, and they were getting booked. Bro, they got booked. They booked the tour off. They got something around that number.
I'm not trying to discredit them in any way. It's just, No.
Look, when I say it's an annual salary, it's not. I'm not saying it was $60,000 or anything like that. I'm not saying like.
No, I know.
I'm not saying like a good annual salary. I'm saying.
Yeah, some people
I'm saying like some people make this number as an annual salary.
Right, and that's all they make for the year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, hey man, you know what? Get yours, man. If you got to strike while the iron's hot, I get it.
That's the nature of the beast, That's
the
nature
man.
of the beast, so.
How the hell I get this topic?
Raj, what did you say the name of that song was?
The linear notes.
Oh, the Eminem song.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Is it the linear notes or the liner notes?
I'm sorry. It's the liner notes. Liner. My bad. My bad. I'm adding extra letters.
I gotcha.
Come on now.
I gotcha.
I know. I'm supposed to know so much about music, right? And I'm giving different titles. Everybody out there listening is trying to look up this shit. They can't find it. This motherfucker Roger's crazy. Giving out names. It's a test, all right? I knew it was wrong. Testing y'all.
I know. You were just getting ready to say it too, and I had to say it.
I didn't even think about the word you said. I was just like, yeah, I know that song.
You said linear, and I'm looking up and it says liner, and I'm like,
I guess I never said it out loud. I think I just read it.
Yeah, I mean, you just put evidence in Aloe Black.
I got it. I'm gonna listen to it later. Because I really like Aloe Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's wrap it. Let's wrap it up. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram at Elevated Audio Podcast, ELEVATED on Instagram and Facebook. Personally, RajElevate.com. Working on the chakra therapy EP, which I'm not giving a date out because I don't want to put that pressure on myself. But go cop that. Go cop my new shirts. I don't know if I can see it. These new shirts I got. Hip hop shirts. I'm disappearing. Man, I
can't wait to get mine. I can't wait to get mine.
Up. Yeah, but make sure you get yours. Higher infinite power healing our people, hip hop.
There you go. We can see it all now.
Yeah, RajElevate.com, ROJELEV8.com. And be on the lookout. The Chakra Therapy EP, Raj Elevate on Instagram, Facebook, and all that. Audio, what you got for us? What you plugging?
Well, first, definitely, follow us on any social media. The Elevated Audio Podcast, any page that we have for that, Facebook, Instagram, etc. Also, make sure to subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube or you're listening to it on YouTube. Subscribe, or if you listen on Spotify, Apple, whatever streaming service you use, make sure to subscribe because that definitely helps us. It seems like something small, but every subscribe, every like, every share, every comment is helpful. For me, Khris Audio, Khris Audio. You can pretty much find me on any social media, app. The website is soundbreakingmusicllc.com. Pretty much everything that I do can kind of be found there, whether it's beats, whether it's shows, whether it's the podcast, whether it's the new promo platform that I started, clothing line, Respect the Culture, or you can see all the options at respecttheculture.org. And I'll leave it at that because I'll just sit here and ramble.
And I forgot to add, you guys let us know. We love to interact with you. Let us know what you want to hear. Be feedback in the comments, what you like, what you don't like, all constructive criticism is welcome. Just, don't go overboard and curse us out. But if you feel so obliged,
hey, man, that's
have
cool,
at it. Have at it.
I mean, if you disagree with the songs we said, or you agree with the songs we said, cool. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, let us know what you want to hear more of. If you don't like something we're doing, let us know. But connect with us. Let us know. We want to hear from you. Miss Cybil, where can they find you at?
They can find me at Cyb410 on Instagram and Facebook, Cybil Marks on Facebook. And you can find all of Raj's music on my Facebook and my Instagram. And you can connect to Khris on my Instagram and Facebook as well.
Let's go. Everybody have a wonderful evening, and we'll catch y'all next time at the Elevated Audio Podcast.
All right. Peace.
Peace.